Hi, I'm Chris Schleter, Master Gardener, food blogger, and writer. Gardening, cooking, healthy and tasty food is my passion. Welcome to my country kitchen, where we'll cook fast, fresh, with the best ingredients you can find. Come join me now. I'm going to make a quiche. I'm going to make a kale, tomato, and leek quiche. This is a leek. It's just like an onion. This is a smaller version. They grow in the garden, and all you do is pick them off and clean them up a little bit, and then you can use them for many dishes. Wherever you use onions, you can use leeks, and they're milder. They're a nice mild flavor. So I'm going to chop this up real thinly, because we're going to use it in our quiche. A quiche is a great way to use up lots of garden vegetables. Set that to the side. And now I'm going to slice some tomatoes. I have my tomatoes sliced in here, but I'm going to add a few more tomatoes. And I'm choosing the smaller tomatoes because they may make nice little rings like this. And that works well in a quiche. But you could use other tomatoes if you want. I just like the look of these, and so that's why I use the smaller tomatoes. And a quiche is basically just eggs, milk, vegetables, and cheese. So it's not hard at all to make. And in the oven, it's about 375. So that's my oven is preheating to 375. My tomatoes. Now I'm going to add 4 eggs. I got 2 eggs in here. I'm just going to add 2 more eggs. And I'm going to beat these up so they're kind of nice and pale yellow. And to that, I'm going to add a cup of milk. This is a cup of milk. I use whole milk. You can use whatever milk you would like. And then I'm going to add some other vegetables here. This is kale. This is kale when it is raw. This is a dinosaur kale. And this is an Italian kale. So it's got little curly edges on it. So when you use kale in any dish, what you need to do is you need to get rid of this hard stem in the middle. So you either can just pull it back and strip the stem off like that, or this is a dinosaur. I just go like this and I'll tear it off. And then you get rid of that stem. That stem is a little bit on the tougher side. So what I'm going to do now with this kale, I need to chop this up really fine. And then I'm going to just put it in a pan and get it steamed, so that some of the hardness of the kale gets out, because it doesn't really soften up much. That's one thing about kale. It doesn't soften up a whole lot when you're doing a quiche. It gives it more of a crunch, so I'm going to make sure that I can get it nice and soft. You can do it just in a steam bath, or you can do it in a frying pan with some butter and some olive oil just to get it just a little bit soft. And the other thing I want to add for herbs is some rosemary. This is some rosemary from the garden. And it comes on a stem, a nice hard stem, so you just pull back the stem. And I don't want a whole lot, about a teaspoon. And fresh rosemary really is the best way to use it. If you're in a pinch and you only have dried, only use about a half a teaspoon, because rosemary is kind of strong. And now I'm going to add this to the egg mixture. And I'm going to add my leeks to the egg mixture. Now I'm going to add some fresh cracked black pepper, a pinch of salt, and a pinch of some little red hot pepper flakes. Now I have it almost ready to go. So I'm going to go and steam my kale here, and when I come back, we will just go ahead and finishing getting our quiche ready for the oven. So I just got done sauteing my kale, and you can see it's a little bit limp. That's exactly what I want. And I'm going to put that in the bottom of my pie plate that has been thoroughly greased. And you know what? I think I'm going to add a little bit butter to that, because I like butter on my quiche a lot. So I just take some fresh butter and I really butter this up so it gets nice and buttery on the bottom of the crust. It only takes about a tablespoon of butter, so it's not too bad. There, that's perfect. That's what I want. So you want a nice buttery crust to have on there. And then I'm just going to tear this up on the bottom. So that's nice little smaller pieces. So you want to try to cover the whole bottom here as much as possible. And so now I had my mixture of the leeks and the rosemary. To that I'm going to add some cheeses. And I've got cheddar, white cheddar, and a little bit of Gouda in there. So I'm just going to put that in there. You can use any combination of cheeses that you want. So after that, I'll pour it into my quiche pan. So you can see it's starting to look like a quiche already. Now all I have to do is add some of my good fresh tomatoes in. So I'm just going to sprinkle lots of tomatoes in here. And remember, it's about $3.75, and it takes anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. I usually set my timer for 20 and then I start watching it. And then you want it to get a little bit more golden brown on the top. And one way to check it is just make sure you stick a toothpick in, and if your toothpick comes in clean, then you know that your eggs are all cooked. And actually, the fuller you make this, it takes a little bit longer for it to cook. So now that I have that on, I'm going to add just a touch of Parmesan cheese to the top. Some fresh Parmesan, make sure it's freshly grated. And then all I need to do is just add a couple spices again on the top. Add some fresh cracked pepper. Now this is ready to put in the oven. It's a quiche, and a quiche is really good. It's great for breakfasts, but you can also just, it's hard enough that you can wrap it up and use it as a lunch item too. Okay, I took my quiche out of the oven. It took about 25 minutes for this to get brown, but if you want to cook it longer, the longest you probably should cook it is about 30-35 minutes. You can see that it's all set. You can see that's golden brown around the edges, and then you let it cool for about 15 minutes just so it gets back down to room temperature. And when it gets back down to room temperature, you can add a little bit more Parmesan on the top, and I'm going to add chives on here as well. Nice green looking there. And then I'm going to take it out and put it on there, but it's not quite complete yet. I think it's missing one little color, and that color is red. So what I will do is I will take a slice, and I'm doing it the oblong way. I'm going to slice a tomato here so it's right on top of the quiche. And now this quiche is ready to eat. I'm going to show you how to make some really quick sandwiches, and they all have fresh vegetables from the garden, and of course they have tomatoes. I have some pita bread here, which you can buy in any store. You can buy a pita pocket, or you can just buy regular pita bread. I have pita bread here, and I'm going to use a garlic hummus to put on as like a spread, almost like if you use mayonnaise. This is what would be your bottom base, and that's to give a little bit of moisture to the bread. And that side, I have the garlic hummus, and this is the beet hummus. This is made from beets from the garden. And it's got a little bit of dill flavor to it, so it's got a tangy flavor. So it's something that is really unique. It has a really unique flavor. You don't need much of it, just a little bit. And then to this, I am going to put on some lettuce, just a little layer, just enough, because this is a salad that you're going to cut as you eat, so a cutting salad. And then I'm going to put a little bit of avocado on there, just a few carrots, cucumbers and celery are also in here. And then I'm going to add some sun gold tomatoes, and then I'm going to put some sprouts. Now these are sprouts that I made in my own kitchen. I just put water in the sprouts, and that's all you really have to do. And then I'm going to top this. I'm also going to put a thin layer of hummus again. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of lettuce to the top with a slice of a tomato. And that tomato will also need some pepper. And it needs a little pinch of salt on there. Not much, just a little itty bitty pinch. This is a whole pita sandwich. And all you need to do to eat this is to cut it into pieces, and then it'll be a wedge. See how the color's inside of there? It's got all the vegetables and everything in there. So that's a really quick salad. Now here's another pita salad. This pita salad, I cut the pita into wedges, and then I put the hummus right on the little wedges. And then I'm going to add in carrots, celery, and cucumber. These are the flat Roma tomatoes. These are not as juicy as the other tomatoes are, but they're really good for salads, and they're really fun to play with. And on this particular one, I'm going to add some parsley, because the fresh herbs are really important to add in almost anything that you make. Now all I have to do is add a little bit of chives, And now it's ready to put your favorite dressing on. That's a real quick pita salad, and that's a whole pita salad. Now let's do a mini pita salad. And a mini pita salad has lettuce inside, and then I'm going to add hummus, and I'm going to cut the tomatoes that I have here just in quarters. So you just stuff it. It's like a stuffed sandwich. You stuff it in there. And here's some avocado. And so then I'm going to top it off with just a little bit of the beet pesto, just a little bit. That's all I need, because the beet pesto has a dill flavor in it, so that's what's a little bit different for a sandwich. Then I just take a toothpick to secure it. So you can see all the different things that you can do with a pita bread. I made 3 different sandwiches here. Here is the one with the Roma tomatoes, and then this is the one that's got the little sun gold tomatoes, and here's the one that's just a nice little triangle sandwich. So it's really easy to make a quick summer snack, a quick lunch of any sort by using tomatoes. And tomatoes are one of the best things that you can get during the summer months in Minnesota.